Our last topic for this section is parallel and perpendicular lines. We say that two lines are parallel if they don't intersect and they have the same slope. So for example, here's a line, let's call it line 1, and here's another line. Let's call this line 2. If line 1 and line 2 do not intersect and have the same slope, then we call the lines parallel. So if the slope for line 1 is 3, the slope for line 2 is also going to be 3. Now if we have two lines that intersect, well, two lines can intersect in a number of ways, but if they intersect at a 90-degree angle, so they cross each other, and where they cross, this angle is 90 degrees, which by the way forces this angle, and this angle, all of them to be 90 degrees, then we call these lines perpendicular. So if this is line 1 and this is line 2, if line 1 and line 2 intersect at a point and form a 90-degree angle, then we call the lines perpendicular. Now the relationship between the slopes of line 1 and line 2 is similar to the relationship of parallel lines. There's something about their slopes. If line 1 is perpendicular, and some people draw this line, instead of writing this out like perpendicular, they just make like a little 90-degree angle here. They say if line 1 is perpendicular to line 2, and the slope of line 1 is equal to m, then the slope of line 2 is equal to -1 over m. So what you do is you find the reciprocal of the slope and multiply it by a negative. So if the slope of line 1 is 3 over 5, then the slope of line 2 is going to be 5 over 3 multiplied by a negative, so it's -5 over 3. Let's look at some examples. Let's find the line that's parallel to y is equal to 3x plus 5 and passes through this given point, 1, -1. Now I'm going to draw the line, and I'm going to draw its parallel line that goes through this point. You don't have to draw lines to find, so you don't have to draw this line to find its parallel line, but it's a good practice to do this. So first I'm going to draw this line, 3x plus 5. The y-intercept is 5, and the slope is 3, which means we go up 3 over 1. Or you can go down 3 over 1. So the line looks something like this. I'm actually going to write y is equal to 3x plus 5 right beside it. Now we want the line that's parallel to the point 1, -1. So I'm going to put a dot at 1, -1. So 1, -1 right here. And remember that the line that's parallel to this one has the same slope. So we go up 3 over 1. or down 3 over 1. Oops. So the line is going to look like this. And of course, these lines go on forever. And you'll see they'll never intersect. Okay. From here, we can actually look at what we've drawn and write the equation of this line. This is y is equal to, well, it has the same slope, so it's 3x plus b. And the way we've drawn this line, we can actually see what the y-intercept is. It's negative 4. So you could say 3x plus a negative 4 or just 3x minus 4. Now I'm going to also do this. I'm going to find the equation of this line without drawing it. So without referring to this graph. So let's just look at our problem. We find the line that's parallel to y is 3x plus 5 and passes through this point. Well, if it's parallel, then the second line has to have the slope of 3. And we have a slope and we have a point. So to find the equation of the line that has this point and this slope, we just have to use point slope form. Point slope form is y minus y1 is m x minus x1. And now we just plug in all of the information. Y minus a negative 1 is equal to 3 x minus 1, just using this point here. So we get y plus 1, distribute this 3, we get 3x minus 3, and then solve for y. So we have y is equal to 3x minus 4, which is exactly what I got here. So this is the equation of the parallel line. Let's try another problem. Let's find the line that's perpendicular to 3x plus 5 and passes through this point 1, negative 1. So this problem is identical to this one. The only difference is instead of saying parallel, I'm saying perpendicular. But I have the same point. So again, I'm going to draw this. So this goes through 5, and the slope was up 3 over 1 or down 3 over 1. So the line looks something like this. And we want the perpendicular line that's going through 1, negative 1. Okay. I'm actually going to extend this a little bit just so I get a better visual here. So it was down 3 over 1, so it should actually be going through this point here. Just to have a better look at this line. Still not satisfied with it. Let me try one more time. So something like that. And I'm just going to think about what a 90-degree angle would look like. So my guess is it's going to look something like this. Of course, I'm going to do this really properly, but that's the idea. I want it to have like a 90-degree angle here. Okay. So what do we know about perpendicular lines? We know that the slope of the perpendicular line has to be the negative of the reciprocal of the slope of the original line. So the slope of the original line is 3. So the slope of the perpendicular line is going to be equal to, well, this is the same thing as 3 over 1, so we flip that upside down and multiply it by a negative. So that's the slope of our perpendicular line. So let's use that. So remember, usually slope, if it's positive, we go up and to the right. But since we have a negative, we just need to change one of those directions. So we can go down 1 and to the right, or we could go up 1 and to the left 3. So I'm going to go down 1 and to the right 3, up 1 and to the left 3. So 1, 2, 3. So the line looks something like that. And you can see that this angle that we've created looks like a 90-degree angle. Okay, now let's find the actual equation of this line. Now we have the slope of the perpendicular line and we have the point that it goes through, or at least one point it goes through, so we can find the equation. Again, we're going to use point slope form. Y minus y1 is mx minus x1. So y minus a negative 1 is equal to negative 1/3 x minus 1. Let's clean this up. This is y plus 1 is negative 1/3 x. A negative and a negative make a positive, so positive 1/3. And now move the 1 to the other side. We get y is equal to negative 1/3 x plus 1/3 minus 1, which is the same thing as 3/3. So y is equal to negative 1/3 x minus 2/3. And this is the equation of the perpendicular line that goes through the point 1, negative 1. Okay? I just want to double check my work. All right, so let's move on. I'm going to do 2 more problems. This time I'm not going to draw anything. I just want to follow the rules. So we're going to find the line that's parallel to this line and passes through this point. So y is equal to negative 4/9 x plus 11. So the slope of my parallel line is also going to be negative 4/9. I have this point, so I can use point slope form. Okay, now plug in my information. Y minus 4 is negative 4/9 x minus 2. So we get y is equal to negative 4/9 x plus 8/9 plus 4/1. I distributed this negative 4/9. Added the 4 to the other side to solve for y. I need to add these two together, so I'm going to put a 9 in the denominator, which means that I need to multiply the top and the bottom by 9, so this is 36. And we're left with y is equal to negative 4/9 x plus, this should be, so 36 plus 8 is 44, so 44/9. And that's the equation of the parallel line. Okay, I'm going to do the exact same problem, but this time I want to find a line that's perpendicular to this given line and passes through the same point, 2, 4. So what I need to do is I need to find the slope of the new line. So m is going to be the opposite reciprocal. So I'm going to flip this one upside down. So this would be negative 9/4, just flipping it upside down, and then I multiply it by a negative. So I get 9/4. It's always going to be the opposite sign here. And now, since I have the point, I just use point slope form. And I get y minus 4 is 9/4 x minus 2. Distribute this 9/4, so we have y minus 4 is 9/4 x minus 9/4 times 2. Here's a negative right here. This 2 goes into 4 2 times. So we have y minus 4 is 9/4 x minus 9/2. Then add 4 to both sides. Which is the same thing as 4/1. I'm going to make this 8/2, so I can add these fractions, and I'm left with y is equal to 9/4 minus 9/4 times x minus 1/2. And that's the equation of the perpendicular line.